I always forget to start recording on time. So when somebody is watching who missed the class and then watch the recording and then has no clue what happened at the beginning. So we're gonna take the uncomfortable side. So the tighter leg is in front. And first we're gonna begin with few moments of mindfulness just to tune in the body and mind. Just rest the back of the palms on top of your knees. Spine is straight. The heart center is lifting. The chest is lifting away from your abdomen. Activating the abdominal wall. The shoulders are relaxed. Head is just extension of the spine. Stay here for a moment or two. And begin to deepen your breath. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. You can slowly open your eyes. So I'm gonna bring the palms on top of the knees, holding the knees. Inhaling only the head, we roll, look up. Only the movement is from the neck. Exhaling, looking down, warming up the neck. Slow, deep inhale. Holding the breath. Deep exhale. Looking down. Deep breath in. Looking up. Deep breath out, looking down. With the next inhalation, we're going to push the chest forward as much as we can, and then we're going to look up. So we are doing a little bit of cat-cow pose. As we exhale, we're going to round the spine and we're going to look down. So it's like a cat-cow pose. Inhaling, pushing the chest forward and up. And exhaling and rounding. As you inhale and you push the chest forward and up, focus on activating the muscles between your shoulder blades. Try to squeeze them together to lift the chest. Feel a little bit of burning in the upper back, engaging those muscles, activating them. And exhaling, we are stretching them. Inhaling, engaging and activating. Exhaling and rounding. One more time, inhaling, pushing the chest forward and up, looking up. And now we're gonna fold slowly forward at your own degree, as much as it's comfortable for you. And then we're gonna begin to draw circles, pushing the chest to the right, then pushing the chest back, rounding the spine. So we are drawing big, beautiful circles with our chest. Chest goes to the left, forward and down, right and back, and just find your motion. No rules, just big beautiful circle. Rounding. Maybe you can control the movement with the breath, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Half of the way is inhaling, half of the way is exhaling. Just find your breath, tuning into your body, into your breath. It's warming up the spine, but it's also connecting the breath with the movement. And when you finish your last circle, just simply switch the side. If you're doing clockwise, now we're going to do anti-clockwise. Chest go to the right, down and forward, left and back. This is the opposite side of what you were doing. Warming up the whole spine like a flexi cat. And you can also combine the movement with the breath. Half of the way is inhaling, And half of the way is exhaling, but no stress. If it gets too much, okay, so now when exhaling, when inhaling is too complicated, then just breathe natural and you can just focus on movement with control and awareness, and to push the chest forward and to round and stretch. Moving the spine all possible directions, releasing any tensions between the vertebrae. Improving the spinal mobility takes a lot of time because this is kind of a protecting mechanism. The ligaments that are holding the vertebrae towards each other, so that we protect the spine, and we really have to be calm and patient and relax and to not push too much, because then injuries happen. Just with control and telling to your spine, yes, this is good, this is healthy movement. Maybe you can go a little bit forward. Spinal mobility is also very important for the flexibility in general. When the nerves are released and they can work free, then we can control better our limbs. Also, reason for a lot of injuries with wrists and knees can be when the spine is not flexible enough and we don't get the correct sensations, and then we push a little bit too much. What we call listen to the body is not happening. When you finish your last circle, slowly come back into the center and hide in this lockdown belly. Raise your bottoms above the head. Interlock the fingers together. Index fingers are together into Kali Mudra, or just all together, doesn't matter. Inhaling, reaching, stretching on both sides of the waist. Keep the shoulders down. Exhaling, bending to the right a little bit. Don't leave the sitting bone, just stretch the left side of the waist. Inhaling into the center. Exhaling to the left. Inhaling to the center, slow, deep breath. We're going to slow down. Exhaling, holding the breath here just for a moment, tiny little moment. Inhaling to the center, fill the lungs with air, hold for tiny little moment. Exhale, stretch the other side. You can combine this movement with your own breath if you want. You can follow your breath or you can follow me. Sometimes it's necessary guidance so that you don't think about it and somebody tells you, okay, now do this, now do that. Then you can fully relax, and sometimes you need to tune in into your body, into your mind and breath. You can choose. Breathing in with me, stretching, and breathing out left. Breathing in and stretching, breathing out right. And when you finish your inhalation and exhalation, slowly come into the center and release your arms. We're gonna bring the palms forward, coming into this tabletop pose. Coming now into this cat cow pose. Nice and easy, but this time we're gonna point one palm back and the other is front. Inhaling, looking up, belly goes down, pushing through the shoulders. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling and rounding, so we are warming up the forearms. Inhaling, looking up, belly down. Exhaling and rounding. Let's do two more with me or with your own tempo. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling and rounding. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling and rounding. We're gonna switch the palms. So if you were doing like me, left palm front, right back, now we're gonna switch. Right palm is point in front, left fingers are pointing towards your body. Cat cow pose, inhaling cow, exhaling rounding into cat. Inhaling looking up, exhaling and rounding. Inhaling and looking up. Feel the stretch in your left forearm. Exhaling and rounding. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling and rounding. 2 more. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, head towards the chest. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, head towards the chest. Both palms facing front, the toes underneath your feet, and just push your feet towards, push your hips towards the feet, coming into this child's pose modification. Stretching the toes. Very good for the ankles. And for runners, especially for runners' ankles. Few moments here. One more last inhaling and exhaling into the posture. And we're gonna walk the palms back, and we're gonna slowly sit on top of our heels. Sometimes this is too intensive, so if your toes are not prepared for this, don't push and don't force yourself. You can bring part of the weight of the body on your palms if this is too much. But if you do that regularly, if you do every time a few breaths, stretching these toes, then it's gonna get much easier. For me, this posture was not at all accessible. I was not able to stay even for 1 second. And now it's not that bad. Just stay for a moment here, sending some love maybe to your toes and feet. This is self-care. One more last inhaling and exhaling. Work your palms front, come into tabletop pose. Relax the feet. Whew. Now we're gonna round the spine and we're gonna lift the knees off the floor. So we're doing this cat cow pose, counter pose for the feet. Now this exercise is for the ballerinas. The other was for the runners, this one is for the ballerinas. Just few moments here. Rounding the spine, lift it up, pushing through the shoulders, engaging the deep core. Inhaling and exhaling and releasing the knees down. Puppy pose, walking the palms front. Resting your forehead on the mat. Find your posture here. Knees and hips should be in line or almost in line. We are stretching the front side of the body, opening the chest. And this posture is very good to work on the alignment. Palms are on the mat. Rolling shoulders out. Push with the thumb and with the index finger. Gentle back bend, gentle heart opener. Back bends are also called heart openers because it's connected with the heart chakra. So according to the yoga philosophy, when we are working on back bends, then we are also working on the heart chakra and the Hatha. And if there are any emotional blockages in that part of the body, we are releasing them with the back bends, which is why back bends can be a very intensive experience, and the back bends are very, very emotional experience, and sometimes a lot of memories or impressions can be released during yoga practice. In Hatha, we take time to reflect and to observe. Take one more deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Push through your palms, lift your head, and just slowly lower down your hips and lay down on the mat. Your palms are underneath your forehead. Resting here for a moment. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. We're going to come into this cobra pose. With inhalation, the head is lifting. And we stay here for a few moments into this active cobra pose. Try to keep the feet either together or hip width apart. Sometimes it's not accessible to keep the feet together. It depends on the body proportions. You can keep them also hip width apart, but don't try to open them too wide. Try to keep them close and to push the mat with them. As you push the mat with your feet, maybe you will notice that the cobra is lifting a little bit higher. And try to squeeze your body with your elbows and to lift your chest and to push the little bit front. Shoulders are down and back. Chest is front and up. Cobra is rising, and if this is okay for your neck, you can gently look up. The head is extension of the spine, so if you notice you're straining the neck, then this is not your posture. You need to feel that in your upper back, that the upper back is bending, and then you will notice that the head is naturally extension of the spine, looking up. One more inhale in here, maybe lift it up a little bit more. And as you exhale, push yourself and just come into child's pose for a moment with round spine. Counter pose. One more deep breath in, deep breath out here. We're gonna come into tabletop pose. Palms underneath the shoulders. Take the toes under. And get ready for Ashtanga Namaskar pose. The chest will come between the palms and the chin is on the mat. If this is not accessible for you, then you're just gonna walk your palms a little bit front, finding your own modification. If this is hurting your neck, then you can just bring the forehead down. Otherwise, we have 8 parts of the body on the mat. Chin, palms, chest, knees, and feet. We stay here just for a few moments. Try to squeeze your body with your elbows and to roll your shoulders back, away from your throat and ears. With your next inhalation, slide your upper body front without moving the feet and the legs. Just the chest is sliding front and we are coming into this cobra pose. Now you can lay the feet down. Take one more inhalation here. As you exhale, push your chest and hips back, coming to child's pose. One more deep breath in here, deep breath out. With inhalation, push your chest front. Take the toes under, chest on the mat, Ashtanga Namaskar pose. It comes from Ashtu Sanskrit, which means 8 because we have 8 parts of the body on the mat. Inhaling, sliding into cobra. Lay your feet flat, lifting your head and chest up. Exhaling, push your hips back to your feet, child's pose. We do this few more times, a little bit faster. You can connect it with your own breath. Inhaling, tabletop pose, toes under, chest, chin down, Ashtanga Namaskar. Cobra pose, child pose. Inhaling, tabletop pose, toes underneath your feet. Ashtanga Namaskar. Exhaling. Inhaling into cobra. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling tabletop pose, toes tucked under. Exhaling, chest chin down. Inhaling, flat seat, cobra head is lifting. Exhaling, child's pose. With your own breath, if you want, you can slow down or speed it up. Inhaling, tabletop. Exhaling, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, tabletop. Exhaling, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, child's pose. One more last round with your round breath or with me. Tabletop, inhaling. Exhaling, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, child's pose. Stay in your child's pose for a few breaths. You can do that sequence anytime in your day, especially in the morning. It's very beneficial to warm up your spine. Because it's very gentle. And it's waking up the body, connecting the movement with the breath. Take one more deep breath in here, deep breath out. And again, tabletop pose. From tabletop pose, slide your arms front as we want to come into puppy dog pose. But instead of lowering down the forehead, we're going to lower down the elbows, the forearms, and then the hips. We're coming into this baby cobra modification. Also, it's called Sphinx. Find your own modification. Maybe your elbows cannot remain underneath your shoulders. Maybe you notice then it's hurting your lower back. In that case, you will slide them a little bit front. Just so that you make sure that you're pushing through the shoulders and lifting the chest and pushing it front. Focus on engaging the upper back so that you're not hurting the lower back. If you notice you're arching the lower back a little bit, this means that you want to push your pelvis towards the mat. And you're also active with your palms. Palms are pushing. This posture can also be performed active as in yoga, active as Hatha yoga, or passive as in yoga. We are doing now Hatha, so we are super strong and active. Feet are pushing down. Maybe try to lift your pelvis a little bit off the mat. Pushing with the feet and with the knees. Try to lift a little bit the pelvis so that you engage the pelvic floor like this. And you feel this rotation, posterior rotation, so that the pubic bone is rolling forward and up and the tailbone comes in. So instead of arching the lower back, we want to do the opposite. Taking the tailbone in, rotating the pubic bone forward and up towards the chest. Pelvis is a little bit off the mat, so this is active posture, so that we feel the pelvic floor engage. And focus on pushing the chest forward and up. It looks very, very relaxing, but I can feel my shoulders burning. Hope you can also do. Take one more deep breath in here, deep breath out, and we're gonna continue with the seal pose. Stretching the arms front. It looks like the small upper facing dog. Palms are still shoulder width apart and those shoulders are rolling out. Elbows are pointing down. You can micro bend the elbows. And make sure that they are pointing not to the side or up, but they're pointing down so that you feel the shoulders opening. Focus on your feet. The feet should be either together or hip width apart. Only if it's hurting your lower back, Then you can open them wider. When the hip joints are tight, and then comes pressure on the lower back in certain positions, and this is one of them. So make sure that you don't experience tension in the lower back here. Make sure that the compression of the spine is not on your lower back, but also on the upper back. We are engaging this upper back. Elbows are pointing down, palms are active, shoulders are open. You can look front, or if you feel like this happens naturally, that the head is extension of the spine, then you can gently look up. Hope you feel a little bit your upper back engaged. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Relax, slowly lower down your forehead. You can rest on top of your palms. Few moments here. If it's already something released from your heart chakra, now you can observe it. If it was intensive, if it was already very emotional, you have a small moment here of mindfulness to reflect, to analyze. Engage in the back side of the body is usually a bit more difficult because we don't see it unless it's in a mirror. So we are not so aware about it. And this is why sometimes you have to send always the focus of the mind there. And relax and here, breathe in natural. Take one more last deep breath in into that posture. And deep breath out and slowly bring your forehead on the mat. And reach your palms behind the back. Interlock your fingers. And try to squeeze the shoulder blades and to leave your shoulders. Opening the chest. And try to push those palms away towards your feet. Straightening the shoulders, opening the shoulders. Shoulders are away from the ears. Golden rule in yoga for a lot of posture. You can stay active here, not just relaxing, but you can keep the shoulder blades towards each other. And imagine you try to squeeze your shoulders back. They're moving towards each other. Take one more last deep breath in here. And deep breath out. With your next inhalation, lift your head up, lift your chest. Push your palms back, coming into this locust pose modification. Feet are still on the mat, but if you feel like into it, you can lift them up. And you can also lift your palms away from your hips. Finding your strong locust pose. If this is hurting your lower back, then you should immediately stop that posture. Otherwise, focus on lifting the chest, lifting the legs straight so we're not bending the knees. Inhaling and exhaling, and slowly release the feet, release the forehead, release the palms. You can bring the palms, if you like, underneath your forehead. Option 1, taking here passive break, just relaxing, reflecting, observing, analyzing. Or if you want, you can do one more flowing, inhaling to cobra, exhaling to child's pose, inhaling to tabletop, exhaling Ashtanga Namaskar. Only if you want, with your own breath, inhaling to cobra, Exhale into child's pose. You can continue with your own breath if you're flowing, or you can just remain in posture that you can relax. You can be in child's pose, or you can be resting on your belly. If it was already intensive for your lower back, then you should come into child's pose. Otherwise, you can flow or lay on your belly. If you're in child's pose, then you're gonna slowly come into laying position, laying on your abdominals. Forehead is on the mat. Gonna prepare for the bow pose. Bend your knees and reach with your palms towards your ankles maybe, or towards your feet. So we're gonna hold them from the outer side. We're not gonna hold them from the inner side because then the shoulders are rolling in. And this has some potential danger. We want to open the shoulders, so we're gonna hold them from the outer side. And first, we only gonna lift the upper body. Inhaling, lifting the head and the chest only. The knees are down, but the feet can pull us a little bit back and up. Exhaling, slowly lower down. Inhaling, notice how the breath is lifting you up. Your chest is lifting as you inhale like a balloon. As you exhale, comes naturally down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, releasing. You can do with me or with your own breath. Always applies. Inhaling and lifting. Exhaling and releasing. If you're holding to your ankles, maybe you can flex them to intensify a little bit. Inhaling. Knees are still down. We are warming up. Exhaling. If you like, you can take a moment here for a break. Or if you feel ready, let's continue with the legs. We're only gonna lift the legs. Forehead is resting. Knees are closed, so try to not split them. Try to keep them parallel, in line with the hips. Inhaling, lifting the knees a little bit. Exhaling, knees down. Inhaling, knees up. Forehead is pushing down. Exhaling, releasing. Inhaling and lifting. Exhaling, releasing. 2 more times with me or with your own breath. Inhaling, lift it up. Exhaling, releasing. Last time, inhaling, lift it up. Exhaling, releasing. If you want, you can make a small break. You can release the legs. You can bring the palms underneath your forehead. Small break here to equalize your breath. Only if you like, if you need. If it was too much, you can come into your child's pose. Otherwise, you're gonna continue with the bow pose, Dhanurasana. So we are holding either the feet, the toes, or the ankles from the outer side. If you're holding the ankles, you can flex them. Now make sure that you're not arching the lower back. You're pushing the pelvis down. You're pushing the pubic bone towards the mat. Inhaling and lifting your chest and your knees, simultaneously coming into down bow pose, Dhanurasana. Try to keep those knees close. Squeezing the shoulder blades, retracting, lift it up. A few breaths here. Breathing, focus on your breath. This is the most difficult part of backbends. The breath. If you're not breathing, you cannot make it here. It's kind of like swimming. So make sure you're breathing deeply and you're breathing out. 2 more breaths here. Breathing in, breathing out. One more last time. Breathing in, lift it a little bit higher. Breathing out, releasing your knees, releasing your forehead. You can rest your forehead on your palms. Or you can put yourself and come into child's pose with your arms on the sides of your knees. Just laying on the mat and sitting, but can be very intensive because we are activating the nervous system. Give yourself a few moments of break. Equalize the breath and maybe to observe what is happening in the backside of your heart center. They say also that we are giving from the front side of the heart center, but we are accepting from the back side. So this awareness of the back side of the heart maybe will also help us accept so that we can also give. And this is very important of the balance. And sometimes we think we don't deserve it, and then we don't accept something, but this is also stopping the process of the energy and the process of the giving. Just breathing and observing the back side of your heart center. In the position that you are, maybe you're in child's pose, maybe you're just resting on your belly, on your forehead, on your palms. Few more breaths here. Focus on equalizing the inhalation and the exhalation phase. Try to make them even. Maybe focus on the moment between them. Natural pause between the breath. It's the time when we find peace. One impulse less for the nervous system. One thing less to proceed. One more last deep breath in and deep breath out. And from the position that you are, we're gonna come into this tabletop pose again. And from here, inhale and extend your right leg back. Exhale, bend the right knee, squeeze it toward your chest, rounding the spine. And slide the right foot between your palms, finding our low lunge. In order to prepare for back bend, we also have to stretch the front side of our legs, the hip flexors, because the back bend is not only from the back, it's engaging the whole back side of the body and stretching the whole front side of the body. Now we are focusing here on stretching the front side of the left leg. Maybe this is too intensive, then you need to close a little bit the legs. Otherwise, you can slide the left leg a little bit more if you need more stretch. And wherever you are in your position, doesn't matter how wide are the legs, we only want to stretch, not the competition. Just roll the left thigh in and push your both hips forward and down. One more deep breath in, deep breath out. I'm going to bring both palms on top of the right thigh, one over the other. The fingers are pointing towards each other. From here, we push the chest back and we lift it up at the same time. And just allow the head to follow that movement. Focus on keeping the chest away from your pelvis, lengthening the abdomen. Left eye is rolling in, both hips are pushing forward and down. Chest is lifting, core is active, gentle back bend. Chest and hips are in line, facing front. Make sure lower back is not strained. You only want to engage this upper back. So we're focusing on the chest lifting. You can stay here if you like, or you can interlace the fingers behind your head. You can rest your head in your palms. Now here, try to open your elbows away from each other, finding your balance, lifting the chest. Gentle back bend, but not just collapse here and relax. Focus on lifting the chest and pushing the hips down. So we are lengthening the spine. Spine is extended, which means it's a back bend. Few moments here, opening the heart center, stretching the chest muscles and the shoulders. One more last inhale and exhale. If you're holding your head gently, pushing it forward into the center, protecting your neck, releasing the fingers, palms down. And just slide the right leg back, come into tabletop pose. One inhalation just to connect the movement with the breath. Left leg back. Exhaling, rounding, left knee is touching the forehead, slide the left foot between your palms, finding this lower lunge here. Maybe you need to bring the legs a little bit close or push that right knee away. Finding your own degree. If you notice you're opening the hips, we have this diagonal in the hips, then you want to push the right hip forward. Sometimes it's easier to bring your fingers on your hips. This I find very easy, very convenient sometimes because we don't have so good awareness for the hips, but when you bring your palms and then, okay, this is the position you are, and then the hips are squared forward. So always you can adjust yourself, adjust your body with your palms. Right thigh is rolling in, both hips are pushing front and down. We are focusing now on stretching the right hip flexors. Very important for our back bends. And if you're lifting here the chest and pushing it front, then it's already a little bit of back bend. If you feel ready, bring your palms on your left thigh, one over the other. Maybe you can switch. And push your chest away from your palms and lift it up. It's not important to extend your arms. You can keep your elbows bent, but focus on lifting the chest up. Again, you can always help yourself with your palms. Okay, lift it up. Always stretch this here. The tailbone is in. Again, you can help yourself with your palms. Tailbone is in, pubic bone is up. So this pelvis is rolling up. Posterior. And push the chest. Maybe a little bit more back. And up. Allow the head to follow that movement of the spine. And if it comes natural, look up. If you like, you can stay here. If you want, you can interlace the fingers again. You can switch the palms and rest your head on top of your fingers. Open the elbows. Few moments here, opening the heart center. Inhaling and exhaling. Push your head front, protecting the neck, releasing the palms, palms down. And just slide left leg back. Look the toes underneath your feet. And we're gonna lift ourselves into our first towel facing dog. Find in your dog here. Pushing the knees, thighs back, heels down, toes up, and the chest towards your knees. Shoulders are open, shoulder blades are protracted, palms are active. Try to bring the weight of the body back. So we are protecting the palms when we try to bring more of the weight of the body on our feet. Push with your feet, push active. Finding your dog here, your own modification. You can always feel free to modify it and keep the posture with bent knees. If you need some more movement here and stretch, you can bicycle the legs if you like. You can twist, whatever your body needs. If you need to move that energy to flow a little bit, then you can just whatever your body needs. Few moments here. Inhaling and exhaling, and bend the knees, drop the knees down. Lift your hands, lift your upper body, come into kneeling position. What comes next is Ustrasana, camel pose. Knees are hip width apart. So they are not together, they are hip width apart. And first we're gonna do preparation. Preparation is half of the work. We're gonna bring our palms on our hips. Either the fingers will point down or the big thumbs will point towards each other. So the palms are not on the lower back, they are on the hips. So we are not pushing the lower back, we're pushing the hips. And from here, chest is lifting. Chest is lifting away from the pelvis. You can always help yourself with the palms. So tailbone is in, pubic bone is up, and then this chest is away from that pelvis. If you want, you can try for yourself. Palms are always helping it to make more aware and control. Finding your modification here. And focus on lifting the chest away from your pelvis and focus on pushing your hips front. So we are stretching the quads here. We have already stretched them in the lower lunge. Gently look up, allow the head to follow that movement of the spine. All of the root that we applied so far, apply also here. Tailbone is in, pubic bone is up, pushing the hips front, lifting the chest away from your abdomen, away from your pelvis. Head is following the spine. And try to squeeze the shoulder blades. Shoulders are away from the ears. And breathing. Most important and most difficult part of the back bends are the breath. Focus on deep breath in, deep breath out. Pushing your hips front, chest away from the hips. Safe back bends. Take one more deep breath in here, deep breath out, and lift your body, come into kneeling position. If you need a break, you can sit down on your heels and just relax here for a moment. Now in that posture, we are already stretching the lower back a little bit. Just stay here for a few moments, allowing your breath to equalize. Maybe this was already very intensive, that posture. Maybe it was not enough. We will do one more round. If it was too much, you can just go into child's pose. If you don't want more, just rest in your child's pose. This was already a lot, what we have done so far. Otherwise, if you need more, if it's like, oh, this was nothing, okay, we're gonna come into kneeling position. One more time, palms are on your hips. Palms are pushing the hips front. The belly goes in. And lift your chest and push your hips front. This will happen natural. You can stay here, or those who want more can reach with one palm back towards the heel. And then with your other palm, both palms are pointing towards the toes. So the palms are on top of our heels. Same rules apply. Hips are front, chest is away from the abdomen. And breathing. Don't force yourself if you're not ready for this posture. This can injure your lower back if you're not listening to your body. Breathing in and breathing out. If you're in the full camel pose all the way back, one palm comes on your hips, other palm comes on your hips. Pushing the hips, lifting the chest, coming to kneeling position. Slowly sit down on your heels. We're just gonna give ourselves a few moments into Vajrasana just to relax the breath and to stretch the lower back before proceeding into counter pose or twist. We just allow the back to recover. Back and the breath. If you like, you can close your eyes. Maybe you can just rest here for a few moments. Take this mindful pause to reflect and to observe if there were any emotions coming from the back side of your heart center. Maybe you can close your eyes and you can send your mind exactly to that one spot, the back side of your heart center. Is it something happening there? Is there something that your body wants to tell you? Just for a few moments here, allow your body to talk and you just listen to it. A lot of buried emotions can come during yoga practice. Sometimes people can burst into tears or laugh, which is all normal. Take one more deep breath in and deep breath out. Here you can keep the eyes closed and just walk your palms front, coming into this child's pose. Rounding the spine, counter pose. You can keep the arms front, or if you want, you can rest them on the sides of your body. Stretching the lower back. And you can keep on observing your body, the back side of your body, and especially the back side of your heart center. Just for a few moments here. Breathing in and breathing out. One more last inhale and exhale into the posture. Slowly push with your palms coming into sitting position. Bring your hips to the side, extend your legs. Bend your knees, feet are on the mat. Holding your knees maybe, rounding the spine vertebra by vertebra. We're gonna lay supine on the mat. You can interlace the fingers behind your back, behind your head, sorry, back side of your head. Have done this, and from here we're gonna lift both legs up, coming into this Viparita Karani pose. Try to keep the legs straight. And as you inhale, lift your head and lift your chest up. As you exhale, try to lift the tailbone. Try to lift the hips. Inhaling one more time here. And exhaling, releasing the head, releasing the hips. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the chest. Exhaling, curl the tailbone in. Inhaling here. Exhaling, releasing the head, releasing the hips. Inhaling, head and chest up. Exhaling, tailbone under. So it's almost nothing happens as you exhale. You just lift the hips to engage this deep core counter pose. Inhaling here and exhaling, releasing. Let's do a few more rounds with your own tempo or with me. Inhaling, lifting the head and the chest up. Exhaling, lifting a little bit the hips, just a little bit. Maybe nothing happens. Just engage the deep core. Inhaling here. Exhaling and releasing. Woo. That feels very good. Inhaling, lift it up. Exhaling, lift it up. Inhaling here. Exhaling, releasing. 2 more rounds with me or with your own tempo. Inhaling, lift it up. Exhaling, lift it up. Counter pose, very important. Inhaling here. Exhaling, releasing. One more last round. Inhaling, lift it up. Lift it up, exhaling. Inhaling here, exhaling, releasing. Hug your knees towards your chest. Hope you feel a little bit of burning in your deep core. This is very, very important to do after deep back bend counter pose to protect your lower back, to engage the deep core muscles so that there is balance in the body between the front and the back side, between agonist and antagonist muscles. Hugging the knees towards the chest. Hold to the big toes, happy baby pose. And push your knees towards the mat on the sides of your body. Try to push your lower back down towards the mat with your abdominals so that the lower back is flat on the mat. Happy baby for a few more breaths. This is very good for the lower back. One more last moment here. Inhale and exhale, bring your feet together and hold your feet with your palms. Recovering the lower back. Neck bends itself is very important. And also, even more important is the counter pose after. Few moments here. One more time, squeeze the knees towards your chest. Inhaling here and exhaling, we're gonna do one last supine twist. So we're gonna drop both knees to the left, reach with the right arm to the side. You can also feel free to do the opposite side. We're gonna switch. Twist in the spine. Try to keep your shoulders down, both shoulders are down. If you want more, you can extend your legs. Few moments here, twist in the spine, releasing the last tension, letting everything go. Inhaling and exhaling, coming back to the center, head comes to the center, knees come towards the chest, squeeze your knees. Inhaling, exhaling, drop your both knees to the right. Reach with the left arm to the side. Gentle twist, push your both shoulders down, left shoulder is resting on the mat. Breathing in deeply and breathing out, going deeper into your twist. One more last moment here. And breathing in, and breathing out slowly. Bring your head into the center and bring your knees to the center. One more last here, squeeze, give yourself a big hug. And extend your legs, extend your arms coming into Shavasana. Allow yourself to relax here for 1 minute. 1 minute, nothing to do. Just keep your eyes closed and relax your whole body. Be present. Observe your breath. If there is any difference in your breath, maybe still speed it up after all of these backbends. Allow it to calm down naturally. Calm down your mind and your breath will calm down. Calm down your breath and your mind will calm down. Last moment here to observe your whole body, the back side of your heart center. You can focus your mind to the back side of your heart center to observe if there is something happening there. Or you can check your whole body starting from your toes, moving out to your heels and knees, legs, hips, upper body, arms and head. Scanning your body. If your whole body is relaxed and heavy, you can again bring the focus to your breath. If your breath is calm, if it's not calm, allow it to become slow and deep. Take one more deep and slow breath here. You have the whole time of the world. Take a slow and as deep breath as you can. As much air as you can, as much prana as your body can intake. And allow it to stay there for a moment, to reach each and every cell. And allow the exhalation to happen naturally, to free some space in your lungs for some more fresh air. And bring the awareness back into your body and begin to move your fingers and your toes, to bend the knees and to stretch your arms over the head, waking up the body from a deep sleep. Keep the eyes closed maybe. Whenever you're ready, you can rotate to your right side. And through the right side, push yourself and come into any comfortable for you sitting position with a straight spine and closed eyes. One more last deep, slow breath here. You have the whole time of the world. And deep breath out. We'll finish with one round of Om chanting. Take a deep breath in. Om. Bring your palms together in front of your chest and begin to rub them to warm them up. And when you feel those little needles, this is the prana, maybe they are cold or maybe they are hot. In both ways is good. You feel a little bit of needles from your palms and from your fingertips, and you can cover your face. Now open your eyes inside of your palms. And bring your palms a few centimeters away from your face. Look into your palms. Spreading the fingers and looking between the fingers, behind them, away from you. If you like, bring the palms together in front of your chest. Namaste. Thank you for your practicing. I will turn off now the recording. So if you like, you can unmute.